I am travelling from London to Lapland without flying.
On the way, I'm visiting Germany's best Christmas markets, taking the train through Scandinavia, boarding a ferry across the Baltic Sea, and taking the Santa Claus Express in search of Father Christmas himself. In today's episode, I'm taking the train between Finland's major cities, Turku, its historic capital, and Helsinki, its modern capital.
So, I arrived in Turku about an hour and a half ago, but it was pitch black darkness outside, so I have actually just been waiting inside the ferry terminal. I did a little bit of research for Rovaniemi, I edited an Instagram reel, so I've used my time productively. It is an hour's walk to the station that I need to get to. Actually, the trains at the moment aren't running from the central station in Turku because there's been work done to the line, so instead they're running from a station on the outskirts of the city. It's about an hour's walk to get there, so I think I'm gonna start it, amble along, hopefully see some of the city along the way. It's definitely the coldest place I've been. There is snow. That is definite snow. My phone says it's about -1 degree, so it's not too bad. Let's go have a little walk through Turku and see what we find. Come on then. I think I could have taken this bus into town, but I am going to walk. I've got loads of time. And the weather's cold but dry. I do absolutely love doing these winter trips. I try and do 1 or 2 every year. I love going to proper cold places in the winter. But it can be a bit difficult with filming things because I haven't needed my gloves yet this trip. I can feel I need them now. I think I'm going to actually... Oh, everything's so snowy. I think I am going to get my buff out so I can at least cover my face a little bit when I'm not talking to the camera, and I might have to think about putting my gloves on because my fingers are getting a little bit cold. This is a spiral bag. I will link it in the description. Yeah, it is really good. It fits a lot in. I think it is a little bit over cabin baggage size for EasyJet, Ryanair, etc. But I've not been taken up on it so far. Right, now I've got to find my buff. Should have really done this in the ship, shouldn't I? Getting my pyjamas out. And it is water resistant as well, which is good. So, oh, this is silly. Oh, here it is. This is my bank robber look. I mean, this is fine. This is the look, you know. But I'm just worried about my poor little fingers. Not so much here, but when I get up to Rovaniemi, I think it is going to be a high of 11 degrees tomorrow. It's interesting. And here in Turku it's snowing. How lovely. So you can book ferries from Stockholm to either Turku or Helsinki. If you book from Turku, I believe it is technically quicker because the trains are quicker than the ferries. However, obviously you do have to change, and I, me being the in advance prepared person I am, wanted to book with plenty of time to spare. However, I did figure it gives me a chance to see Turku, even though I think pretty much everything is shut till 10. But at least I'll get to have a little walk through the town. There was a reason why I booked Turku as well, another reason. It may have been that the timings weren't as good for the Helsinki line. It may have been that it left earlier. I can't remember, but there was a reason. So, a few things to know about Turku. I apologise, I'm not going to do the city justice on my brief trip here, but I'll try and explain a little bit and I'll return at some point, I'm sure. So Turku was the former capital of Finland, and it also is the oldest city in Finland. However, many of its buildings were destroyed in a fire in 1827, I believe. So actually, nowadays, most of the city's architecture dates back to the 19th century rather than any older. However, it does still have a lot of history. One of the buildings that wasn't destroyed in the fire was Turku Castle, which was once the administrative centre of all of Finland. And to this day, Turku Castle and Turku Cathedral are the oldest buildings in Finland that are still in use. And I'm actually just coming up to Turku Castle here. Turku Castle is right by the harbour, so if you arrive in the harbour after 10 a.m, then you can very quickly come and visit it. This is a 13th century building. Pretty wild. And yeah, this was once the administrative centre of the entire country. So I can't go in, but it looks like I can walk around the outside. It's very medieval. I don't know why and I think it is just because it's snowing, and I have seen pictures of this castle in snow, although when I visited it was summer. But it reminds me a bit of Bran Castle in Romania, like the fictional Dracula's castle. But I don't think there is any real reason for that. Ooh, spooky. Oh, it's so snowy. I've actually been a bit, not concerned, but unexpecting, I guess, of snow on this trip. I did a trip last year to Wrocław in Poland, the Baltic countries, and then I ended up in Helsinki. And there was so much snow for the entire week. It was just snow covered. It was like this time of year, maybe a few days later. And the snow forecast has just not been the same this year. I don't know. Obviously it can vary year on year anyway. I don't know if it's something to do with global warming, but even up in Lapland, where I'm heading tonight, the snow forecast is not great, which I don't mind at all, you know, is what it is. It's weather, it can't be changed. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be snowing when I arrived here, so it's a nice surprise, although it is getting right in my face. The castle does look like it's having some work done to it, probably some sort of restoration in the winter months, which makes sense. This is Forum Marinum, which is a maritime museum focusing on Turku's maritime heritage. Turku is located in the archipelago sea, and I mentioned this when I was sailing from Stockholm, but it would have been such a beautiful journey if it was light sailing into Turku, because you would have gone past many of the islands in the archipelago. So maritime history is very important to Turku. It really is why the city was founded. Just crunching over fresh snow. I've not got time to go to the museum itself, plus it's also not open yet, but I can actually see in a little bit here. Here's a little peek at some of the vessels that I guess are part of the exhibition. Let's head back to the main road, get back on track where I'm heading. So Finland used to be part of the Swedish Empire. The two countries have very historical close ties and general close ties now. Everything's amicable now, and I do believe that the transition from Swedish rule, no, it was Russian for a bit, wasn't it? I need to brush up a little bit on my Finnish history. But yeah, there's no real animosity towards the countries now. They're very amicable. So Turku was actually founded by the Swedish. So back when it was the 13th century city, it was founded by the Swedish due to its advantageous position on the coastline and also close to Sweden itself. Turku was the capital of Finland up until the 18th century. It had the first university in Finland, which is nowadays still the oldest, and it was the centre of culture and arts as well. But after Finland was under Swedish rule, it was under Russian rule. When it was under Russian rule, the Tsar moved the capital to Helsinki, I'm guessing because it was closer to Russia. Now, to this day, Turku is still considered to be Finland's second city. It's also gateway to the world's largest archipelago. Apparently, it has a very underrated food scene. According to my maps, I just literally need to walk along the river for quite a while. I am heading to Turku Cathedral. I'd quite like to see at least the outside of it, as it is the other oldest continuously in use building in Finland. And I think to get there, I just need to keep on walking up the side of the river, at some point cross it, and that's basically it. I like this whale tail sculpture, if that's what it's supposed to be. There's a little ferry here that seems to go backwards and forwards across the river. This is Turku's market hall. It is the second oldest market stall in Finland, and it was established in 1896. It was actually established because there were too many brawls in the city square, so it was established to maintain some sort of order to the trading. It was renovated in the 1970s, and it is still a market hall today. I suddenly got so hungry, so I had to dive into a shop and get some crisps. I'm feeling a little bit more revived now, and we're about a 10-minute walk away from Turku Cathedral. Here she is, Turku Cathedral. In front of Turku Cathedral now. So this is the other oldest used building in Finland, along with the castle. It is the only medieval basilica in the whole country, and it is the mother church of the Lutheran faith in Finland. I think that's right. And it first started to be built in 1276, so it's well old. This building is quite majestic as well. It dates back to 1815, but it is actually still used as the city's courthouse, so it's not a tourist attraction. My backpack is getting heavy, but I've made it. I have coffee and I also have a cheese sandwich actually for lunch, and my train is already here. Still got 15 minutes before it leaves, but that's nice that I can settle in. Now, when I booked this train the other day, it asked me if I wanted extra comfort for €4. So for €4 I could pay to have a single seat and a guarantee of no one sitting next to me, so I decided to do that. I guess it'll be one in there. Now, apart from the train from Helsinki station to the airport, this is actually the first time I've ever been on a Finnish train, so let's go see what they're like. Wagon 5. I believe this is me. Maybe up this end. Oh, there is a single seat, okay. Touchdown Helsinki! Over the last month, I've literally travelled from Africa to here without flying, and this is my penultimate destination! So it is 1:45, and my train to Lapland leaves about 7:30, I think, so I've got 5.5 hours. I reckon that's time for a sauna, don't you? I'm gonna find somewhere to store my bag for a couple of hours. If I'm honest, Helsinki is probably my least favourite Nordic capital that I've been to. Not been to Oslo yet. Not that I dislike it, I just was here last year and I felt like I kind of saw pretty much everything I wanted to see. But the one thing that I didn't do was go to the Alas Sea Pools. So that is where I'm heading now. I remember coming down here last time, and this boat here, that goes over to Suomenlinna, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's like an island that was once like a fortified island and has Swedish and Russian influences. Very interesting. I definitely recommend doing that if you're in Helsinki. We've also got a couple of ferries, including the Viking Line. Now, there was a reason why I didn't sail to Helsinki. I think maybe it got in a bit too close for comfort to the train tonight. I feel like that was probably why. And then here is the main Orthodox Church of Helsinki, and the Helsinki Cathedral is actually a different building. Maybe I'll walk past that later. That's where the Christmas market is, and I think this is the place I want to be. That was absolutely lovely. I feel incredibly zen and relaxed now. You can't really take any video or anything in there for obvious reasons. I'm looking at the saunas now though, so let me show you. These three are all saunas. One is women only, one is men only, and one is mixed. And then just next to it is the Seaport, which is a pretty chilly 5 degrees Celsius. And then along a bit, the blue strip there, that is the heated pool. I went in the heated pool first and I did not find it very warm, so I got out of that quite quickly and went into the sauna. After the sauna, I did manage to go in the 5 degree sea pool 3 times, each for a little bit longer, so I'm quite proud of that. But obviously I couldn't get any footage, so you're just gonna have to believe me, okay? I feel like a Helsinki local now because I'm heading back to my favourite cafe. When I was here last year, around this time of day, I found this cafe and it was the coziest vibes. And I know I've been talking a lot about like winter coziness in this series, but it was the epitome of that, so I'm gonna go find it again. It's just even prettier in the night. How festive. I think that lady was ready to close up, but I had had a coffee and a cardamom bun, and I've come to the conclusion that I never eat cardamom or cinnamon buns when I'm at home, so I'm allowed to have 2 a day while I'm in Nordic countries. Right, it's a bit slushy underfoot, so I'm going to walk back to the station. I might go via the cathedral, and then I can show you that as well. So Helsinki Christmas Market is just here, right in front of the cathedral. And here is the Helsinki Cathedral. They call Helsinki Cathedral the IKEA Cathedral because it's kind of plain, looks a bit like it was a flat pack from IKEA. Quick little walkthrough, but if you do want to see more of the Helsinki Christmas Market, I will link my video of it from last year in my description. I really needed to eat some vegetables, so I've just come to this poke bar called Freshman and just had a poke bowl here, which had broccoli, carrots, sweet corn. Didn't have everything it was promised to have in, I don't think, but tofu, sweet soy sauce, that kind of thing. So that was good. I think that will be good for my stomach. I'm going to finish this video here because I'm going to be doing a whole nother video about taking the night train to Lapland. So if you want to watch that video and you're not already subscribed, then do hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when it is out. If you're sticking around, I recommend this video. It's all about my Christmas market crawl through Germany. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!